So when I first read the early draft of the script, as I say, it was under a slightly different title. I think Red, White and Blue came later. I think my first reaction, as ever with Rumley scripts, was shock and disgust and how sick is this man?
We've been billing it as a slacker revenge movie. In the end, it's more than anything, it's a love story. You know, it has elements of horror in it. Those elements are kind of, they're not like any traditional horror film that you see. And certainly there is probably, I suppose, about a third of the film with a guy wandering around with a knife terrorizing various people. So in that respect, there is an amount of genre in it, but certainly the way that we've set it up is that you hopefully will identify not only for the victims, but I'd say in a pretty unusual, if not unique scenario, I think we will also care and actually almost identify with the guy wandering around with a knife, in this case Nate.
Basically he's a sociopath and he's probably been told so by a psychiatrist at some point.
Let me ask you a question. Would you prefer to stay alive without your mommy and daddy or die with them?
At this point in the film, I think he's fairly disenchanted with his previous life, and I think he's a good person who knows he has a bad side, and he's quite happy to keep it on the back burner.
That was a real nice note you wrote me.
Thank you.
Well, I guess I should say thank you.
There's like, you know, three people's lives that just kind of come together and in unfortunate circumstances and some not so unfortunate.
Frankie, what the fuck are you doing, man? I'm talking to my bassist. What the fuck are you doing, Ed?
Frankie is in no way a perfect character, and he's a pretty flawed character as well. But he's at a point in his life which is pretty emotionally wrought. So his mother has leukemia. His father's split up with his mother, and he hates his father for having done that. He's in a band who aren't really going anywhere. He has a long-term girlfriend who left him for an English guy.
Probably the most important thing to him is his mom. That's the one thing I picked up on right away, is that his mom is the most important thing to him. There's no question about it.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I am so happy for you all. Really, I am.
Mom, this is about you for a change, not us.
I'd say when we actually meet Frankie, he's at for someone his age, he's at pretty much a personal low, I would imagine.
Do you think that you could love me?
What are you doing?
I want to make love to you. I'm sorry. I don't even know your name.
Got Erica, who's this kind of like pained girl who's had this really tough life, and you know, is just kind of, I don't know, I see just kind of like numb to everything, and is just maybe just trying to get by.
Erica can't let people touch her. She lets people touch her and have sex with her, but not in a real affectionate way.
I just thought we could hang out, you know? But I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just thought it'd be nice.
Erica is living a very lonely existence. She shuts herself off from everybody and everything because her association with people has been really horrible in her upbringing as a child. So she puts a wall up and doesn't let anyone in. Sleeps with a lot of men to get back at the male species, which is arguable, but I think that's a part of why she does what she does.
For most of the film, she comes across as this kind of just really lost late teens, early 20s girl who sleeps around. You know there's something a bit weird about her because of what she says. She doesn't sleep with the same guy twice, which actually was based on a girl I once met, and that was something that always stuck with me because it's obviously a little unusual. Yeah, so Erica just comes across as this kind of quite lonely character who's very lost.
She meets Nate, and he's a different sort of character, and a friendship of sorts starts to happen between them. I think he recognises a kindred spirit straight away. He sees her, he knows that she like him, has a secret and a darkness, and but she doesn't know how to control it. So I think he has an almost parental kind of love for her too, and a protective love. And when she's taken from him, that's when he kind of loses it a bit.
A typical horror film, people can like disengage from what they're watching. So it's like, oh, there's zombies or whatever it is, and that wouldn't really happen. And it's like a fantasy world. This is not fantasy. This is real people and what they're capable of, and what I think really happens in this world. And you know, you hear about it on the news and stuff like that, but you don't really, it's easy for people to just connect to it because it's too hard for them to watch or to accept that this sort of thing could happen. And could happen to any of us because we all have a dark side.
You ever cut yourself, Erica? Thought you might have. Something a lot of girls do, apparently. Takes away the numbness. Makes them feel more alive.
Cut! Okay, that's good. That's good.
I thought it was cool when we saw him get just broken, and then him just being like, fuck man, and then he like goes to, I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be like, you know what I mean? But it's like, if he's sitting here and he's fucking like really like, oh shit, anyway. I like what you wrote, you know what I mean? And it made sense.
Yeah, no, sure. So I think, you know, the main thing with this scene is that it's you know, again, you know, we're starting like really peak energy, real anger, and you know, you're just like, fuck you to everyone. And then, you know, his anger comes out, and then your kind of depressedness, you know, he can sense it. So it's like, so you know, from going to, you know, smacking you in the face, wanting to kill you, he's like, what? Okay, what is wrong with you? What's wrong? And then, so again, it's a very quick emotional.
Ready? Yeah. Okay. And action. Cut. Okay, great. Let's go. Reverse. Excellent.
Okay, thank you guys.
Good guys.
Moving on to the reverse.
Looking this way, everything else has to move.
Acting. You okay with it showing dark over there?
It's easier because we're in that one location probably the entire day. But it doesn't mean we're going to slow down. We're going to keep working fast. We're working with pretty much all available light, and that helps to some, you know, to a large extent.
Mm-hmm. The Living and a Dead, which was shot for a limited budget and for a production period of just 3 weeks, kind of demanded its own style on top of what Simon envisioned for the film. And what it turned out to be was very long scenes, oftentimes single take scenes in which there isn't much cutting around. In terms of styles, this is one aspect, you know, in which the style of The Living and the Dead is different from Red, White and Blue. The other difference is that we decided to shoot the film entirely, almost entirely handheld. And again, that was with the idea in mind to give energy to the film, to give it a certain sense of edginess, to support the kind of sinister aspects of some of the characters. And I think those are all pretty right choices to make for this sort of film.
Yeah, let's have a car right there where it would stand.
And can we have another car next to that one as well, please?
Oh, that's so nice.
Bit of a siesta. We're working at actually not a very furious pace at the moment, but it's gonna get quicker. But everyone's doing very well and sitting down. Told everyone what to do, they're doing it. So that's about it, really.
The heat is a little unbearable.
It's so hot, I can't even believe it. I don't know how you people do it.
Going again, one more time, guys.
That was all good, guys.
So I don't like hot climates. I can quite happily go somewhere cold and feel fine.
I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to heat. I've shot in South Africa before and I thought that was hot.
It's incredibly hot, and that's probably the most challenging aspect of the film in a way, because it is unbelievably hot.
It's insane how hot it is. Everyone's always like, LA is hot, but it seems like Austin is way hotter than LA, like 110 degrees. That's nuts, man. That's completely nuts.
That was really difficult on the camera for us. It oftentimes shut down during those high temperatures.
I think Simon and I probably took our shirts off a bit too much in the heat of the sun, but that's Mad Dogs and Englishmen, so they found us a bit strange for that. But other than that, we've had, it's a pretty laid back place to make a film, so the heat doesn't really bother me as much as it has bothered some other people.
Yeah, I'm here in Big Bend, which is in Texas. It's about an 8-hour drive from Austin, and I think it's pretty fair to say that it is in the middle of nowhere.
All I know is that we hit a bump and I woke up. And then Jeff said, I think they blew a tire.
Look at that. It's faster this way.
Changing a tyre, haven't got the right jack. Talking about doing some dangerous jack alternatives with body parts, wooden boxes, stacks of beer bottles.
No one seems to take their shirts off in Texas, so I didn't want to. Oh, is that way? Well, that seems a pretty good reason, I guess. Skin cancer. Okay.
And one last time.
So after sunset, we went to we drove to the next location, which is where Noah or Nate sets up his campfire.
Watch out, guys, there's a brown recluse. It'll make your arm rot off.
So in the end, we went back to our base, where we slept for, I think, probably about 3 hours before having to get up at about 4:15 for sunrise. So I think everyone was pretty exhausted and pretty knackered, and I think spirits were running a little bit thin. But I think in the end we did it, and we had some amazing shots, and it's an incredibly beautiful kind of location. So to see the sunset rise, our set and rise in Big Bend was pretty amazing. So I think in the end it's a good visual end to the film,
And and so then we I guess wended our way home, but I think we got stopped by the police not once but twice.
What just happened? We had a sort of a fairly anticlimactic wrap. Where we were all set up to gonna get a last shot off, and decided in a very kind of lowbrow way that we're just too tired to continue working.
And that is Picture Wrap.
That's a wrap on Red, White, and Blue.
Right in the middle. Woohoo! What's the weirdest wrap you've ever had?
Well, I guess as Joseph says, you know, it's kind of weird rapping when you haven't actually shot anything for a couple of hours and you're on the side of the road. But it's good having some beer.
Right, everyone has to be shirtless except for Simon for the rest of the way home.
I think before everyone took their trousers off as well.